Hello, 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 and welcome. It's 30 Days of Self-Directed Kindness. Hey Indra, good to see you. And Melissa, good to see you. Welcome back. Good to have you back here. Thanks for sharing. Always really appreciate those shares. So, welcome if you're just joining the replay too. Hey Brandon. Thanks for sharing on Facebook. Tabitha, Heidi, good to see you, sweetheart. Nice to have you back. Thanks for coming in and joining me. We're on day 23 of 30 Days of Self-Directed Kindness, a month where I'm encouraging you to, hey Marion, to include yourself in the equation of kindness. Hello, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Lots of hearts, that's good. Yeah, big up those hearts. Indra, I think you're knocking a million soon. I've got a long, long way to go. Good morning, Marion. Almissio 707. I was talking about 77 this morning. You're always yellow. You're just yellow. Innocent Savage. Wow, there's a name. Thanks for coming on. Feel free to throw your name up, not your handle, but your actual name. I'd love to know what your names are if you're new to me. And if you're new to me, then welcome. We're doing 30 Days of Self-Directed Kindness. We're on day 23. My name's Joel Young. I'm the creator and custodian of MPA, which stands for Non-Personal Awareness, and it's a simple process that lets you stop taking shit personally. Which I always say on this month particularly, that it's one of the kindest things you can do for yourself is to discover simple ways to stop taking things personally, which is kind of on topic, a little bit of a heads up on today's moment of kindness. So every day over these 30 days, I'm inviting you to have a look at a moment of kindness, to participate with it. Hey James, good to see you. And participate in it, maybe even make it a practice for 30 days if it's a challenge or if it's something you particularly resonate with. By the way, James, I loved your scope yesterday. Beautiful, open-hearted. I'm so glad you just really just put it out there. Nan can tweet. Welcome. Yeah, great scope. Indra saying there. Watched it at 4 a.m. Welcome. Now, the Search 333. I'm pretty sure I've seen you a couple of times. I wonder what your name is, where you're from. Feel free to show it up. I'm pretty sure you've been on one of my scopes or several of my scopes before, so thanks for coming back. Van's and Lucky. Hey, Chrissy. A few people coming in. That's great. So you guys, if you haven't shared already, please go ahead and share if you're willing. My name is Janie. Hey, Janie. Yeah, are you on Indra's scopes? I wonder if that's where I've seen the name before. Or if you have been on here. Hi Janie, welcome. Sorry I'm following you, but I missed it. It'll be on the replay there. James's scope was lovely. Yes, yes indeed. I love your avatar as well, little cracked up heart. Let's break our hearts so we can make them bigger. Danson Lucky, hi. Yeah, good to see you. So again, just as a few people are coming late, we're doing 30 Days of Self-Directed Kindness. We're on day 23. Every day is an invitation to include yourself in the equation of kindness. That's my artwork. Oh, great. Are you part of the Creative Underground on Facebook? Indra and I are both in. There's a group called the Creative Underground. Loads of artists all coming together. Hi from Nancy. Edmonton in Canada. Wow, fabulous. I've done a big tour of Canada, but I didn't do Edmonton. I was in Vancouver. And I was in Calgary, so I think Edmonton's just north of... Is it north of Calgary? Is that right? Is it a little bit north of Calgary? I know quite a few people in Edmonton. Yes, it is. Great. Okay, so let me turn around and say hi. So how are you guys today? I wanted to sort of start off because today, no, not any groups on here. It's actually on Facebook, Janie. There's a group, Indra and I are part of it. Nice shirt, thank you. Yeah, I ironed this for today, as you know, Indra. And it's purple, so it matches the purple flowers behind, so I'm very colour coordinated. And someone there's got purple hearts, not sure who that is. But yeah, now I wanted to talk a little bit about your favourite colour. Yeah, it's been one of mine, kind of a royal purple. I'm really into kind of the sort of blues. Yay, purple hearts, thanks Melissa. So, yeah, I wanted to start off before we go into the moment of kindness. And hey, Melissa too. because today I've been feeling quite raw and open. Now, one of the things is that I've been taking Indra's magical elixirs. So always when you do something intentional and have magical support, like Indra's products are, Indra's offerings are, it may well be to do with that. But also, I wondered if there was something in the air generally. So I thought I'd share what's been coming up for me, and see if that's sort of a resonance with you, or if it's just me. So there's been a lot of sadness today. I've been feeling a lot of sadness, and not that I feel sad myself. It's more like there's sadness in the air. There's also a sense of real open-hearted rawness that's kind of around today. Yeah, you're feeling it. Okay, great. So I wanted to bring it up because I wondered if it's generally in the energy. Now there's yes, okay. So it's not just me, which is not a surprise. Raw, raw, raw. Yes, it feels like one of those days. Tender. Yeah, tender. You know what? Tender, Heidi, is one of those words. Hey, Tabitha, good to see you. Feeling gippy. Is that just woke up, so I'm not sure yet. Okay, yeah. Well, then, it may be, one of the things about life is that sick. Okay, gotcha. So feeling the raw love, someone said there. So just because the majority of the planet might be feeling something, turbulent Thursday. Nice one, Janie. Yeah, good one. Doesn't mean we all feel the same thing, but I've often talked in terms of the MPA, the non-personal awareness, that we're kind of in a soup of a bigger energy. So that's why people who do these energy reports and these kind of things, they're pointing to a bigger energy. We're all kind of in that soup and tend to be influenced by it. You had a storm last night. I did. Yeah, there was a huge storm for most of the night last night, and pouring down with rain, thunder, lightning. So I decided to, and this is very much inspired by Indra, and don't take that the wrong way, but she's a great fan of going out in the rain. And I used to do that as a kid, but I just stripped off butt naked. James will laugh because I'm butt naked again, and just went dancing out in the rain. I just stood in the rain with my arms akimbo, looked up, let it pour over me, and just danced around the garden. The security light went on, so God knows what the neighbours thought, but that's really not my problem. But I went round the corner, it went off, so I could dance naked in the dark and the rain. Yeah, somewhere, and it was warm. I mean, it wasn't warm, but it wasn't freezing cold, and but it was just so great to get my feet into the muddy, or not muddy, the wet, damp grass, and just throw it off. Cleansing, yeah, and I've got to say, Indra, I did feel that it related, because I'm sort of coming to the end of the course of the two elixirs that I'm taking, and it felt like, and I did literally say, when I went, cleanse me, which is very good, yeah, very grounding. Hey from Glasgow. We're not really talking about Brexit today, my friend. We're talking about self-directed kindness. So in relation to Brexit, be kind to you, vote what your heart feels is true, and listen to real information. You vote out. Well, there we go. There we go. Okay, so just going to give you a heads up, TM, Kin, just if you keep it on topic. Oh, you're spamming now. That's a spam. You're gone. You have no girlfriend. Well, you have no girlfriend. Why am I not surprised? Yay for loving self. Indeed. Hello, gorgeous lemon. Oh, I love that. Gorgeous lemon. I love your handle. Throw your name up, gorgeous lemon. I love to know what your real name is, and I love your handle. Wonder why? Yes, indeed. So for you guys just arriving, big reveal. Let me just remind you what we're about today. Smile, Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer. I'm glad to see you on my Skype. So we're doing 30 days of self-directed kindness. We're on day 23. You can catch all the others on the replays. You're welcome. This is all about a month of really encouraging people to include themselves in the equation of kindness. We're often kind outwards, but it's really to re-engage with, is it kind to me is kind of one of our core questions that we were asking this month. So it's really a case of asking yourself something, because often, and I know, because there's a few people that I know are new on here, just to remind you, so where this was born, I guess, within me, was I was having an argument with my now ex-wife. My tendency was to sort of placate or to We'll be kind to ourselves. Yes, I think it's so important, Melissa. And my urge was to reach out, but what came to me is it kind to you? That question, is it kind to you? And I realised it wasn't, and I also realised that by reaching out, I was trying to calm her down, making everything okay when it really wasn't. And the truth was, I was still pissed off, she was still pissed off. So my hand withdrew, and ultimately it was kind to me to not act on a lie. And there was a relaxation that happened in me, and we sorted that stuff out. So that's where the whole be kind to you, is it kind to me question comes from. So we're on day 23, and I would like to know if you would like to have the big reveal. Are you ready for today, number 23? Let me hear you say, yeah. Is it kind to me? Yes. There's actually a hashtag I use called hashtag BeKindToYou. It's a hashtag that I use on this one. Lol. Yes. Who else? Who would like to see today's? Sure. Woohoo! Bring it on. Okay, so day 23. Let's go. You're going to laugh at this one. I love this one. You say they're my favourite. I love them all, really. Have you seen Victoria James Mindflower Scopes? You are like two peas in the same pod. No, Victoria James, don't know, never heard of her. Welcome back in. Okay, so day 23, here goes, big reveal. This is what it is today. Okay, so today's moment of kindness is this. If someone shouts insults at you, remember they're just having a loony moment. It's not about you. Can you please give us some illustration about the self-kindness? Yeah, I'll definitely get onto that once we've talked about the reveal. Lover scopes, right, yeah. So if someone shouts insults at you, remember they're just having a loony moment. It's not about you. So who on this scope hasn't ever had a loony moment where you just kick off? I will come back to that, BT Malik. You just kick off, and you're not really there in your true self. You're just going bonkers, loony every minute. Well, yeah, Silent Meninda there, I say my favourite scoper. I recommend everyone follows it. Talks about the moon, and the word loony, of course, or lunatic, comes from the moon, exactly from Luna, La Luna. So and the moon, sort of in the sort of classic mythology, is all about going bonkers anyway. So I'm pretty sure if you had Victoria join forces, could bring the world peace. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm up for that. I shout catcalls at guys, lol, and my loony moment. Great. So here we go. So I've talked a little bit about this on one of the previous moments of kindness in relation to dealing with your own insane mind. And treating it like a loony. But this is also true if somebody else shouts an insult to you. So when someone is in that place of craziness, they're not themselves. And it doesn't make it okay. Let's make that really clear. It doesn't make it okay. Let me turn it around while we chat about it, actually. So with you. So it doesn't necessarily make the behaviour okay, but within yourself, we often take it personally. Again, my whole thing is about not taking things personally. And one of the sort of sidestepping ways so you can not take it personally is realise that it's not about you. It's someone who's in their crazy head, having their crazy thoughts and saying crazy things. And if you can just really get, oh, it's a loony. And the little story I tell to help really embed this in you now is just a sense of, imagine that you visited a lunatic asylum, triggered to an ugh moment. Yes, an ugh moment. So imagine that you visit a lunatic asylum, okay, and you're walking down the corridor, and there's all these doors, with the lunatics behind them, and one of the lunatics runs up to the door and goes, "You're blah 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 blah," and shouts loads of insults, says terrible things about you. Now, in Nurse Ratched. So in that moment, in that context, you think, well, I'm in a lunatic asylum, and of course that's obviously a lunatic, so it's not about me, they're just doing their loony thing. Now, if you can encapsulate that and bring it into yourself, lol, if you can bring it into yourself, then you can have that when normal people have a kind of a loony moment. Do you believe in God? Well, it depends what you mean by believing God. I experience what I would call maybe God, the totality, the universe. Thank you, gorgeous lemon. Now you put your name up. It's Jennifer. It's Jennifer or Jenny. I can't remember which one, but it's a Jen. I'm just call you Jen. Yeah. So it's really, if you can really embody that, then when someone's really kicking off at you, and you can go, oh, They're in lunatic. What is God for you? So kind of taking us off topic here, Julio, but I'd say there's an underlying intelligence in the universe. I would say God is the totality, all things. We're all that consequence to the bigger energy. And I guess that's what I would call God. But I also think there's a way to have a personalized or personified God, and you can make that angels, you can make that all those different things, or just God with a beard or wherever you see it. It doesn't really matter, because it's always an avatar through which you can connect to the divine. God is our own consciousness. Okay, we'll come back to. I don't disagree with you, I think, but who is you? Who is you who owns the consciousness? There's a unique perspective maybe that's happening through you which connects to the divine, would be my perspective. But, we all have different perspectives, and that's kind of the point and the joy of life. So I also wanted to address, now there was a question about asking, you are me, I am you. Yes and no. yes, you are me and I am you in the infinite. Okay, so let me go there, because there's a couple of questions on this. And then we'll come back. I do want to answer that question about self-directed kindness and come back to you in a moment. But you and me and I am you. In the non-personal, again, let me just show you this so you know what they're talking about. So I teach something called non-personal awareness. Nonpersonalawareness.com is about having a non-personal perspective. And one of the big things about that there are actually multiple perspectives happening at once. So there's a perspective alive that says we are all one. It's a perspective, but in experience there's distinctness. So there are many of us. So my personality is not your personality, but there is a thing that connects us all bigger than ourselves. So there are many lines to draw. What is your purpose in life? Wow, you're full of questions, Mr. Julio. It's just to be. I'm just here. I have a calling, which is to spread the non-personal perspective, and that's a very different thing. Purpose is something that's alive in every moment, again, in my opinion. Right, I want to address the lady who asked about, can't you tell? Yeah, true indeed. So someone asked about, can I talk about the self-kindness? I hope you're still here, put a comment up or something so I can know you're still here, because I'd love to address it, and other things have come along. I want to honour your question. There's only one purpose, love. Yes, you're still here. Great. What's your name, BT Malik? Tell me your name. I'm here. Only one purpose, love. That's one perspective. I'm a bit picky on this. That's how it speaks to you. Oh, it is Malik. Okay, Malik, great. So, Malik, you asked me to talk about sort of self-directed kindness, I think was your question. So we're talking about including yourself in the equation of kindness. So kindness is something where we're often taught to be kind to others, but there are times when you think like, oh, I ought to do charity work as an example. But if you check in with yourself, it may be that actually isn't something that you truly in your heart want to do. So the being kind to you would be to honour what's there for you, no matter what other people might think. And what I'm saying to people, really, my experience and belief here is that when you're kind to you, you're actually kinder to the other people. So sometimes saying no to somebody, even though it seems like a really generous thing, is actually kinder to them, because it's really a case of letting, because it speaks the truth. So it's like, the truth is that if I pretend that I'm helping you in congruence, but actually part of me doesn't want to be there, then the energy is kind of off. You're probably not going to be there fully. Something in you is going to be resistance to it, and that energy goes into the other person. Whereas the universe will undoubtedly have a much better solution for them if it's not the truth for you. So including yourself really at the heart of kindness really is that chance to live the highest and best, which starts with you. So and there are times when the reverse is true. In as much as it may seem like you don't particularly want, you tell yourself, I don't particularly want to do something. But if you ask if it's kind to me, it's like, oh, damn, actually, if I'm really true to myself, even though it's going to be a challenge, a struggle, it's going to create fear, it's going to bring all my stuff up. Nonetheless, if I'm really honest with myself, it's the kindest thing to me and therefore all round. So it's not about, one way or the other. It's really about getting in touch with your unique perspective here. So I hope that answered your question on kindness. So feel free to take a screenshot of this and share it on Twitter if you're on Twitter. It's a great way to get this perspective out to other people who maybe aren't on Periscope or just not up for half an hour with me. Thank you, Melissa. So if someone shouts insults at you, remember they're just having a loony moment. It's not about you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. I'm glad to answer your question, Malik, and thanks for being on here. Honesty, authenticity, integrity, love, those are my cornerstone. Good for you, Julio. That's great. Am I happy? Yes, I am. That was a question earlier. What makes me happy? Being kind to myself. Being authentic, being true, growing, loving, all of those things make me happy. So, so I want to direct you down here. So we've actually talked a little bit about some of the deeper stuff in non-personal awareness. In other words, that there are multiple perspectives. We all live our translations, these kind of things. So if you're interested in MPA at all, go to joelyoungmpa.com, which is my handle there with a .com on the end. Or, of course, you can also go to nonpersonalawareness.com. It's the same website, it's just that they both get there. And I've used nonpersonalawareness.com for years. And also, these 30 days of kindness, each moment of kindness is one of 30, of which there are 70 more in the little ebook, 100 Days of Kindness ebook. So you can get that at mpa4.me/BeKindToYou. And I do want to encourage you to come on to Facebook if you're a Facebooker. I put a lot of good stuff out on MPA Rocks. You can see it there. There's the URL, facebook.com/MPA Rocks. And also, because that URL is a bit weird, the pinned post on MPA Rocks this month, if you can see it, there you go, focus, has the link there. You can click straight through from that post on Facebook, which is at the top of the page. And again, I put lots of good stuff, lots of big ideas on my MPA Rocks thing. So thanks for being here. It's 22 minutes past. I feel like we've sort of come to an end. I haven't asked for feedback actually, so if you've got any more questions, any feedback on today's moment of kindness, now is the time. I also want to big up Indra, who's on after me. I'm on at 2 o'clock every day. I forget to say that. 2 o'clock every day for these moments of kindness. Indra is on at 1:30 every day. She's great. She's does amazing elixirs. I'm taking them myself at the moment. Missed a bit because reception will be a replay. Okay, so there you go. Your ears must have been burning, Indra. So if you haven't followed Indra, do follow her or just check out. She'll be live in maybe 10 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe 2:30 anyway, UK time. And thanks for being on my scope. I appreciate your questions. Actually, some great questions today, so thank you for that. I will see that insane person running to the glass now when peeps are loony. Thanks for the image. You're welcome. I love the power of stories and images. Mr. Bit was in the shower. I love your morning showers, James. Thank you, Joel. Kindness to self and all else falls into place. Yes, beautiful. Do go ahead, be kind to you. You can practice that today. Take it on. Best wishes. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for being on my scope. I hope to see you again. Thank you for the shares too. If you haven't shared it already, I'd love a share. If you like this, then share it out because people can catch the replay. You cleaned. Oh, I love your humour, Jen. Yeah. Did you? Come on, spill the beans, James. Did you wash all your bits? Brilliant, Heidi, guys. Spill the beans. You know, Jennifer, in MPA, the MPA process, the first step of an MPA, I call it a spew. So you're right in there. So we're saying, come on, spew. Just let it out. There we go. Of course he did. Yes, he did. Brilliant. Well, on that wonderful image, I think it's time to end this. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings to you all. Mwah. Appreciate you all. Cheers, guys.